Last time on the Alpha Male Universe.
Is it filled with your kind?
Absolutely.
I ain't going there, bro. I'm not going there. I'm not going there, bro.
We don't want no blacks.
I'm not going there, no. So I was in my room, and then I heard all this Filipino. I was like, what the fuck? And I came out, and the Filipinos were beating the shit. It was like a fucking fist fight between the Smurfs.
Pacquiao came out.
I was like, Smurfs, enough. This is a house of love. True or false? True story. The Smurfs had a fucking fist fight. So, you know, the slaves sometimes get unruly. It is what it is. But yeah, I got slaves.
You whip them?
I don't need to. Because they know I will. So I don't need to. You know?
Welcome back to the Alpha Male Universe. Now, Bubba Army, be sure to report for duty and smash that like button because we have another Andrew Tate video. So recently, Andrew Tate has landed in a lot of controversy. I kind of fell behind with the whole Princess Azuli going to school situation, and I thought that was a higher priority. But I'm here to circle around, talk about Andrew Tate once again, and we have this Bradley Martin interview that is quite interesting. We're going to talk all about it. So let's get in the flow state and get this show on the road.
And I don't think that's organic. I think that there is an extremely orchestrated campaign designed to make sure that my influence never reaches the level it was previously. I have criminal cases in many countries around the world to believe that the constant, endless smear of me in the media is somehow organic and not an intelligence campaign is ignorance. And this video was deliberately pushed to damage my ability to defend myself in court.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. They said, Andrew Tate is there. Let's look at the easy wins. One of the biggest people complaining on the TV is a Jewish nightclub owner.
So there was a Miami club controversy that involved Andrew Tate, Sneeko, and your favorite person in the world, Clavicular. This song that was played was about a certain man from World War II who had a certain mustache, if you know who I'm talking about. And a lot of people were upset about it. It became like nationwide news. I would have never thought these AMU weirdos would become nationwide news, but here we are in 2026. Now, I didn't talk about it also because I was busy, but I also thought that it was a little bit of a played out topic. So many people have made videos about it, but this interview goes in depth about this whole incident and its ramifications for Andrew Tate. Now, he's of course going to be narcissistic and say that the whole world hates him and that wants to just tear him down and it's the Matrix or whatever. Maybe it's you and you need to look into the mirror, but I find this interview a lot more interesting than the million other played out videos talking about the same thing.
On the TV is a Jewish nightclub owner. So he wants his opponent's nightclub shut down. That's an easy win. Let's look at the fact I have trial coming up in the UK. And if you say anything hateful, it has no free speech. So hate speech is an instant, quick, easy, bam, jail sentence.
Yeah.
That's an easy win. This is an easy win for very powerful people to go, let's make this video big. And I didn't even complain that the song came on. I just stood there. I was like, oh, whatever. But I knew what was going to happen. I was like, this is ridiculous. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
But, kids with streams, they need clicks. It's like grabbing your hat. They're children, bro.
Yeah.
They're just children and they'll do anything for clicks.
Yeah.
No, they're kids. Yeah. They're retards and they're not adults with responsibility and things going on. So it is what it is. But it is truly crazy it got so big, but I don't believe it's organic that it got so big. I think it's been pushed on purpose.
At one point, to be fair, wouldn't you say that you did a lot of content was just for clicks and stuff as well?
I mean, you try and be entertaining.
Yeah.
I think that there's a fine line to walk because if you don't give a shit about clicks, then no one's going to watch. If you don't try and be entertaining, then no one's going to watch. Outrage can be entertaining.
I think it's a silly mindset that we have to constantly be outrageous to get clicks and views. I'm of the camp that content is really personality driven. You can make a million videos about whatever super popular topic, but if your content isn't personality driven, really no one's gonna click. No one gives a shit, right? Because there are a million of those videos out there. And Andrew Tate wants to be upset that this whole incident has occurred. And while I will agree with him, if he didn't play the song, then you know what? There's not as much blame to go around on him, but you have to say this: birds of a feather flock together, and you should have better judgment as to what your company is. Like, you as a man, perception is reality. You have to understand that, right? And if you are hanging around these bozos, these idiots that you know are going to be provocative, are going to do extremely dumb things, then you know what? You're partially to blame for being in their company, Now, if someone came up to you, blasted this song, and then you're like, what? Okay, then how could I ever say say, oh, you were somewhat involved, right? But if you're making streams, you're making content, you're dapping them up, you're saying you're my best bud and you're blasting this music, you're gonna be involved. That's just how it is. Maybe some people are gonna say, oh, that's unfair, man. That's so unfair. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Don't hang out with shitty people if you don't want shitty outcomes.
Fortunately, at a certain level of notoriety, these outrageous things on the internet have real world consequences. If you were standing there in my place, they could easily, if they decided to, blow that video up and cause your gym, the physical location of your gym, a whole bunch of problems.
Yeah.
Your landlord might be Jewish. Or he might not, he might just not want the press hammering him. He might just get pressure. You don't know.
Yeah.
And even if you own the place, who knows what? The mayor, the da-da. If you have real world, it's amazing what can happen because someone next to you thinks it's funny to get clicks.
Well, it sounds like because you have a case, you still have a case in the UK, and in the UK, there's this like they have actual laws for hate speech.
Correct.
And they would just consider anything and be like, look at this, see this here, he broke this, and therefore.
Yeah, they'll put me in front of a Jewish judge and destroy me. I mean, it's pretty simple. I think they're going to do that anyway. I think my upcoming case in the UK is with a Jewish judge, and they're going to say, look at this clip here. And I'm going to say, I didn't play the song. And they're going to say, well, why did you stand with those clowns? And I'm going to say, but I didn't play the song. And the judge is going to say, whatever, it's 10 years, enjoy.
While I despise Andrew Tate, I feel like spending 10 years in prison over hate speech is pretty excessive. Now, someone's gonna say in the comments, oh, Bubba, are you saying that you stand for hate speech? Just use your fucking brain, okay? What I'm saying is, I think it's pretty crazy to spend 10 years of your life in prison over that. Like, I would think for someone to spend that much time in prison, you'd have to like beat someone up to the point where they were almost unalived, or a very, very similar crime. I just think that that is a bit severe, but you know what? I don't live in the UK and that's their rules, okay? But what I want to also say is that Andrew Tate, he just fails to understand that when you are in the company of people for an extended period of time, in a way you're like indirectly endorsing their behavior, because if you do nothing, then you're saying I'm okay with it, right? And when you're someone like Andrew Tate, who is a alpha male who basically went mainstream, all of your actions are going to be dissected. It's just the reality of the life that he is going to live. And so while I also think that, okay, yeah, he didn't put the song on, he has some type of responsibility he needs to take. Get better company and you won't have stupid results.
The judge is going to say, whatever, it's 10 years, enjoy. And what am I going to do?
Do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah. 100%. Like, but what the fuck am I supposed to do when the song comes on? Run away?
Yeah.
Like the song comes on and my brain analyzes the scenario and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then I think, you know what? Maybe no one will care.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the clip comes out and then I'm like, well, the song's been played by so many people so many times. I've discussed it on other podcasts. No one seems to care. What's the big deal? And then all these bots start posting under the video to pump it. And I'm like, what bot farm is being paid to blow up this video? And then I sit there and then maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, but after going through the 4 years I've been through and I've seen how bots shape narratives and I've seen how, the media is desperate to get hold of me. The fact that I know my criminal case in Romania was started by the British Foreign Office at the behest of MI6 because I was deemed a national security threat. So there's already been an intelligence operation against me, verified, documented in paper. They said in 2023, the British government said he has so much control over the masculine youth that he's an unchecked source of influence. They believe that I could literally name a place and a time and a date and burn the whole country down. And to be honest with you, they weren't far wrong in 2022. I got to say, guys, enough's enough. So let's fight the Matrix. See you in Central London, 8 p.m. It would have been a show. So I was deemed a national security threat, which is why they wrote to the Romanians and said, this guy is unchecked. Do something. Lock him up or we're going to extradite him. He's out of control. So all of this is documented. I have paperwork for this.
Yeah.
So for me now to sit here and believe, and I don't want to be paranoid and I don't want to be narcissistic, but for me to believe that the system knows I have an upcoming.
I don't know if it's just narcissism or a matter of fact that this happened with the UK government deeming Andrew Tate a threat to their sovereignty. Like maybe someone can comment down below information connected to that, because I'm genuinely interested to read that if that is the case. But my gut feeling is that it's just narcissism and he's probably just running away with a story based off some little bit of information that could be interpreted one way or the other. But this whole video is basically Andrew Tate like whining about the the consequences of his inaction. Like, no one really expects Andrew Tate in the club to get on a podium and make some type of speech denouncing their behavior. It could just be as subtle as being like, yo guys, it's probably not the best idea, or that's not cool, right? Like, no one's expecting a speech. Instead, Andrew Tate just sat there smiling while his friends were throwing a crazy hand gesture. Yeah, you know what hand gesture I'm talking about, on the stream over and over, and then you just dap them up and drink with them and just move on like nothing happened. Like, obviously that's gonna look bad, and if you're a public figure, it's probably not the best idea. But instead, whines. But I will say this, is that there is a camp of people who say that, oh, Andrew Tate is a lame, he's a beta if he tries to take some responsibility for this and apologize. But I don't know. Some people say you can't win with the situation. Some people say you can balance it out. I'm of the camp that I don't view it as weakness if you do say I could have taken, better action in that. But I feel like we just live in a super volatile world that can't see any type of gray area in things.
And I have to give credit, as much as I'm upset that they've done this to me, I have to give credit to my enemy, because my enemy has a weapon, which is time. It just ties you up in the system. It slowly grinds you down. It continues to lie about you. It continues to slander you every day. They pick away at your psyche. They pick away at your brand and your reputation. They use bot farms. They shape narratives. They have all the time in the world. You're on bail anyway, in and out of court, wasting money, going to jail, getting out of jail, paying lawyers, trying to convince a judge. Like, they just attack. And also the shock factor of, whoa, what the they arrested Andrew Tate is long gone.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there going, we'll get him 2 years from now, 3 years. Time's on their side. What can you do, bro?
A lot of it just feels forced at this point.
It's super forced. I hate to interrupt. It is mega forced, bro. Anytime I do anything, I can't take a piss without a mental breakdown on the internet. It's bull. It's forced. This isn't real. It's all linked to my legal cases and trying to make sure that I don't win them. None of this is.
Andrew Tate is such a narcissist that he doesn't understand that his so-called enemy's biggest weapon is not time, it's Andrew Tate. You see, are there a lot of people out there who are easily impressionable and for some instances can be told, oh, don't like that guy, and they'll just be like, okay, I'm not gonna like that guy. Yeah, there's a decent amount of people out there who are like that, but then there's also a shitload of other people who actually use their brain and critically think and go off the evidence of actions, statements, and so on, and then they reach a conclusion. It's not just like fairy dust that people despise Andrew Tate. There's a long history of irreprehensible actions that there's a reason why people don't like this guy. This whole Matrix bullshit is the silliest thing. It's so played out. We see this happen with Vincent Fisher and other alfalfa males, but I'm really happy that the aura, is that what people are saying now? The aura of the argument of the Matrix attacking someone is finally wearing off. Like, a lot of people now, they don't even believe in that bullshit.
Effectively free, and they just get to print out pieces of paper. Andrew Tate is a hateful person. Here's a tweet he did that's hateful. Andrew Tate is a hateful person. He stood next to children in a nightclub one day. Here's ... We believe, defend yourself. And I'm just getting wrecked, and it won't end. It's like, it's really quite remarkable. You wake up every day and there's just some new bullshit lie. And I actually wonder why, when it's clear I'm not going to incite this riot they're afraid of, they're not going to stop. But I guess they've just decided they're going to keep going till I'm gone, I guess.
Yeah. Have you got...
Andrew Tate blasted people for years and years with a certain type of energy. So it's only just common sense that you're going to get back that same energy you put in. I don't complain about people not liking me or leaving a comment here into criticizing me, because guess what? I understand that I bring a certain type of energy to these videos where I go in on people and I say some stuff that honestly is probably going to rub one or the two people who listen the wrong way. But guess what? I'm gonna be a fucking man about it and understand I can't make everyone happy. I'm gonna say what I say and I'm gonna stand on what I believe in. But you know what? Andrew Tate wants to sit here and be like, oh, they just write things about me and they don't like me. Just shut up, bitch. How about you just be a real man like you claim to be and go fight another TikToker and let's go see how that turns out. Maybe if you actually trained, you ran, you did some cardio. Instead, this guy doesn't want to take any responsibility for anything, why people don't like him, why he got mollywopped by a TikToker. And it's just gonna get worse. Actually, I'm gonna probably return to this Bradley Martin interview because there's a lot of other things that we can discuss, but I wanted to just, feel it out with the community if you were all interested, and if I should do a part 2, then I'll be sure to do that. I really appreciate you listening, tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to smash that like button though before you head out. Later, guys.